Hey, what is up guys, and welcome to the King of Awesome. Did you know that a simulated ocean was created by collecting millions of gallons of water for the production of the Titanic movie? Imagine if a real ship were crashed just for a movie scene. In addition to that, have you heard about the Joker movie scene, where an entire building was actually destroyed? In this video, I'll present to you the most extreme and authentic scenes ever created in Hollywood movies. So, let's start our countdown. Plane crash. Friends, you must have frequently witnessed aircraft crashes in movies. Usually, it's done using computer-generated imagery. But, what if, in order to make a scene more realistic, an actual ship was to be crashed? Well, that's precisely what happened in a scene we are about to watch. This scene is from the Hollywood movie Tenet. You'll be astonished to learn that a real plane was intentionally crashed for this particular movie scene. The movie's director opted for a Boeing 747 for this purpose and orchestrated the crash into a building. All the cars and buildings used in this scene were authentic as well. However, the most interesting fact is that the director originally intended to create the scene using CGI effects. Nevertheless, the cost of CGI and special effects exceeded the expense of crashing a real plane. Consequently, the decision was made to crash a real plane, turning the scene into a genuinely remarkable spectacle. This approach not only added realism, but also proved to be more cost-effective than CGI. Titanic. It's safe to say that among you, hardly anyone hasn't seen the movie Titanic. It's one of Hollywood's most successful films based on a true story. If we talk about the movie's scenes, a significant portion of it was shot using real elements. Now, let's focus on the Titanic ship itself. The film's directors constructed an 800-foot-long replica of the Titanic in Mexico. Moreover, during the ship's construction, the film's director personally dived 12 times into the ocean to observe the original Titanic wreckage. This deep dive aimed to capture every detail and make the film even more realistic. Increasingly, the director didn't want the replica ship to appear unreal from any angle. Rather, he wanted it to be an accurate representation. As a result, he set the world record for the deepest ever scuba diving expedition. Additionally, a massive nuclear power plant was utilized to submerge the ship in water. This plan had been abandoned for a considerable period, and no one was using it. Hence, the filmmakers transformed it into a pseudo-ocean by filling it with a staggering 7 million gallons of water. This underwater movie scene was the largest ever created, and achieved the level of realism that matched the movie itself. Undoubtedly, it was an expensive endeavor, with a budget of $200 million during the filming period in 1996. However, the movie's success far surpassed the expenses, earning a staggering $2.2 billion at the box office and captivating audiences worldwide. Plane hijacking. Let's shift our attention to a superhero movie, Batman, which often brings CGI to mind. Yet, you'll be surprised to discover how many action scenes in this film were astonishingly real. Take, for example, the plane hijacking scene, where Bane destroys a flying plane mid-air. To create this scene, the plane was actually attached to another large aircraft using ropes, and both planes maneuvered in the winds. Every detail inside the plane was captured while it was suspended in the air. Furthermore, what's even more astonishing is that a dedicated stuntman was hired to execute the plane destruction. These brave individuals tied themselves with ropes and systematically damaged different parts of the plane, putting their lives at risk. Hanging onto a plane in the sky was no easy task, but the actors risked their lives to make the scene authentic. This level of dedication and commitment to realism is truly remarkable. It shows that movie directors are willing to go to great lengths to create a truly immersive film experience. Viewers, subscribing and liking the video may be a very minor thing for you, but for me, it is very important. It will pay off my hard work for this video, so please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Nuclear blast. Now, let's talk about a recent Hollywood movie, Oppenheimer, which revolves around the story of a man who invented the nuclear bomb. The film portrays the entire process of creating the bomb. Typically, directors would rely on CGI to depict such explosive scenes. However, in this particular movie, the nuclear blast was not CGI based. You might wonder how they managed to achieve such a realistic explosion without CGI. Well, the filmmakers chose to shoot at the exact location where the first nuclear test was conducted in 1945. To create the blast, a staggering 68 tons of TNT bombs were utilized. The entire film crew risked their lives to capture this scene, considering the immense danger involved in detonating such a large quantity of explosives. The directors say that when the blast happened, Earth shook and the magnitude of the blast drew everyone's attention. Going to such extremes to capture a movie scene is truly remarkable. Joker. Usually, disaster scenes in movies rely heavily on special effects. However, when it comes to achieving authenticity, filmmakers often prefer using real elements instead of relying solely on computer-generated effects. Take, for instance, the famous Hollywood movie The Dark Knight, where the Joker destroys a hospital in one of the scenes. Surprisingly, the hospital shown in the film was an actual 4-story building located in Chicago. The movie's directors decided to demolish the entire building for the sake of authenticity. It was an incredibly risky endeavor, but meticulous preparations were made, and the authorities were duly informed. Surrounding streets were closed off, and 120 cameras were set up to capture the destruction from every possible angle. The building was rigged with explosives, and 5 helicopters were used for aerial shots. However, after all this preparation, when the time came to blast the building, a mishap occurred, and the building refused to blast at first try. Thankfully, the actor's exceptional intelligence saved the day when he pressed the button twice. The destruction of the building worth millions of dollars was recorded, making the scene even more memorable. And that wraps it up for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video showcasing some of the most extreme and authentic scenes in Hollywood movies. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video. Until next time.